Hello, my name is Kevin. This is Lab 2, Lines of Charge. In this lab, we'll be using previous data from Lab 1 charge tapes to find the differences of the tape acting as a single point charge and the tape acting as many equal point charges along the length of the tape. So the main physics ideas is Newton's third law, where Fg is equal to Fe, so the force of gravity is equal to the force of the electric field. And using this law, we can find the charge, where charge would be equal to Q. And using the equation, I have found that the charge of the tape is 2.59 times 10 to the negative 8 coulombs. And from the coding, the resulted calculated magnitude is 1.04 times 10 to the negative 3 newtons. This is the experimental data. The dimension of the tape as shown has a length of 0.2745 meters and it had a mass of 2.2745 grams. This is because it was assumed that 1 meter of tape is equal to 1 gram of tape. The distance I found before the tape started floating was 4.5 centimeters. Using the constants, I found the magnitude of the gravitational force was negative 0.003 newtons. And using Newton's third law, I found that the magnitude of the electric force was 2.59 times 10 to the negative 8. And plugging these numbers into the code gave me a magnitude of 1.04 times 10 to the negative 3 newtons and a gravitational force of 2.69 times 10 to the negative 3 newtons. So this is the code that I used. As you can see here on the left side, I plugged in the mass and the charge that I found on the previous slide. I also plugged in the function for the electric field that was from Lab 0. On the right hand side at the very top, I plugged in the distance. And then everything else was more or less given. I just had to plug in the E field and some scaling. This is the output that was given, where the green arrows are the electric force, the white arrow is the magnitude of the electric force, and then the yellow is the magnitude of the gravitational force. So some of the assumptions we made is that we ignored air resistance. This was done in Lab 1 to find the initial charge if the entire tape acted as one single point. And then in this lab, we treated the charge tape as it was a evenly distributed point charges. Some errors that I could have made were calculation errors, measuring errors, especially from Lab 1, where if I measured wrong, and if the assumptions that we made were wrong as well. So some concluding questions. What if each tape was modeled as a single point charge? Compare the point charge model to your line charge model values. So the point charge model stated that the electric force is smaller than the line charge model electric force. This was shown with the line charge model being 2.59 times 10 to the negative 8. And from my last lab, the point charge being 1.7 times 10 to the negative 8. Why do these estimates differ and which value is more likely to be closer to the real value and why? The line charge model will be more accurate to the real value of the charge, as in real life it's not focused on one single point, as it would be spread across the tape. As then theoretically it would be like taking the integral from point A to point B. This would be the end. Thank you for listening and have a nice day.